What on earth is Sadhguru doing? Hanging out with the Antichrist himself, Klaus Anal Schwab at the World Economic Forum. Here he is, look, shaking hands. They're all there in Davos. Prince Charles as well. All of these lovely beings somehow emerging together. Somehow Jesus is hanging out with Satan. Now, the book that I'd like to draw your attention to is this one by Klaus Anal Schwab himself, The Great Reset. Now read that and see what you think. See whether you think that's coming from a loving, compassionate perspective. But most recently I watched a video of Sadhguru talking to Matthew McConaughey, and they were talking about, at the end of the video, current affairs. And it very much surprised me the way that Sadhguru was talking about the lockdowns and all the measures in place, because he was very much supportive of those. And for anyone who's done any sort of research into, the effectiveness of lockdowns and, even the whole nature of the spectacle itself, is going to leave a lot up for question. So let's take a look at this first clip and see what you think.
So this is a time, I'm saying, particularly in India right now, last 2 weeks have been grim, all right? It's been a very grim situation out there and still going in that direction. Well, now lockdowns, curfews all coming, maybe it'll turn back a little bit.
Not sure about that.
But we need to understand this, that we have come to a time where there are many, not mainstream scientists, there are many, other kinds of scientists who look at various things. They need not be 100% wrong or 100% right. They're talking about how this has all happened because of the biological push we have done on other creatures, whatever. This is a script for a Hollywood movie.
I agree with that.
This virus, the carrier, the sole carrier is human being. Earlier, we've had this kind of pandemics or epidemics where carriers were mice, birds, mosquitoes, other kinds of…
Also wrong. Now, this might seem absolutely outrageous, but remember, tyranny is the deliberate removal of nuance. A lot of our freedom of speech is being destroyed at the moment, so please do switch over to our Odyssey channel, which I'll link in the description below, where you can find out the real truth about what's really just taken place over the last 2 years, but also you can check out the website, because I'm just now re-uploading a lot of the videos that were deleted onto the Odyssey channel. But if you go onto newearth.land/truth, you can read about exactly what's happened.
Things, we couldn't stop them. What we were thinking of in our mind at that time is how to completely eliminate all the mice on the planet, how to get rid of the mosquitoes, absolutely, genocide. We were planning genocides on them. But right now it is us, we are the carriers.
And that's exactly why they're planning genocides on us, and not just planning, this is ultimately what we've just been experiencing over the last 2 years. Now again, this might sound absolutely outrageous and outlandish, but let's think of another quote by George Bernard Shaw: all great truths begin as blasphemies. When people start to realise the true nature of fascism, the true nature of 21st century despotism, they will actually unfortunately be awoken to a very harsh reality, just like they show you in The Matrix.
Welcome to the desert of the real.
If all of us had the sense to 14 days, just be with 2-3 people that we are and not meet anybody for 14 days, the pandemic is largely over.
See, here he is absolutely supporting the government mandate and exactly what's just taken place and all of the rationale. Remember the Hegelian dialectic: create a problem and then solve the problem that you've actually created in the first place. This is what's going on. It's absolutely insane. But again, if you watch videos on the other channel, you'll begin to be exposed to information that we're being protected from by these social media platforms like YouTube, all of Silicon Valley. This is all a part and parcel of the absolute insanity that we're experiencing today.
But we won't do that. We need a haircut, we need to go to the pub, we need to do this, somebody needs to go to the temple, somebody needs to go to the bar.
That's called living.
It's because we are such compulsive creatures right now. The significance of being human is, there's nothing big about us except that we can conduct the same things that the animals do consciously. We eat, we sleep, we copulate, we die, all right? The question is, if we do it consciously, it looks human. If you do it compulsively, it looks animalistic. So right now, this is the time for us to exhibit how conscious we are.
Yeah, absolutely, Sadhguru. And that's why we're speaking the truth here on this channel and not falling into all the bullshit that people like Sadhguru are unfortunately peddling unconsciously at this time, contrary to what he's saying. There's absolutely no consciousness coming from this particular script, right? Although he's talking wisely about some, human archetypal things, ultimately he's got it absolutely wrong. I hope that he's just wrong and he's not actually peddling an agenda here. So, unfortunately going forwards, we're going to have to look at other social media platforms where we can actually speak the truth. I get videos banned on here just for simply making videos about tests and all the other bits and bobs, right? So please switch over to the Odyssey channel where we can find out and learn the truth. And also, like I mentioned, newearth.land/truth.
Simple commitment. I will make sure I am not infected. But if it so happens I'm infected, I will ensure it will not go to one more person.
Well, yeah, it's impossible to be infected. And so if you look into the Dr. Stefan Lanka stuff, okay, there is no material contagion, right? It's all a hoax. Trust me. Check out newearth.land/truth and you will be able to deep dive into the core aspects of the psychological operations that have been performed on humanity.
This much commitment, if we take, it's over.
Stay home, stay safe.
It's a small, short-term inconvenience for long-term freedom.
No, Matthew McConaughey, which he says rhymes with what would Madonna say. No, it's not a small-term inconvenience of freedom. It's absolutely the antithesis of freedom in of itself, because they're going to keep doing this time and time and time again until we wake up to what's actually truly taking place on this planet. So many people have been psyoped by this because it's just so deep. There are so many levels to it. And there are people coming out with these sort of sub-narratives of, oh, it's the Wuhan lab leak theory. That they've planned this, okay? It's a plandemic. There's so much involved here to talk about. And again, I can't talk to you about it on this channel. So again, let's please switch over to the Odyssey channel where you can learn all about this. It's a censor-free platform. We have freedom of speech. Unfortunately, this corporation, YouTube, is fascist and I get videos deleted if I say certain keywords. So it's very difficult for me to actually skirt around the censorship and speak my mind. So anyway, though, I think this is very dubious. It's very strange that Sadhguru, the contemporary guru and Jesus-like character, is hanging around with the Antichrist. It just doesn't make any sense, If you've been following or been on the truth train for a while now, you'll understand that a lot of these shady characters are commingling what we think of as being, light bearers. And so this just doesn't make any sense. So I don't know, what are your thoughts? It's very, very peculiar indeed. And it's difficult to actually know. We can only really speculate to some extent because we're not in the know. We're not privy to all the intel that's outside of public domain. So let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. And do subscribe to this channel because we're making lots of videos that are to do with awakening and spirituality in general. We'll be talking about politics. We'll be talking about some of the nefarious agendas. We'll be talking about diet, nutrition, what we can be eating, how we can lighten up our bodies and allow ourselves to actually attain high levels of consciousness so that we can solve all the problems that we're faced with, ultimately poverty and the amelioration of inequality. So if that sounds like a good idea to you, then please stick around on this channel, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. And on that note, if you're interested in mental illumination and attaining higher levels of consciousness, accessing higher worlds, then do check out this video. Also, if you're interested in some of the other debunked videos, last time we were debunking Russell Brand, you can check that out here. So, like I said, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.